Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the week, but it's the weekend now and it's time to check out another round of great deals that you can pick up for your Switch. This time we'll look at games at new low prices. We'll start off at the lower end and we'll work our way up the price scale, but don't worry, I'll keep everything budget friendly all the way through. And if you enjoyed the video, or maybe I help you save $1 or $2, hit that like button for us. And if you're new here, we cover the Switch every week and we'd love to welcome you into our crew. On top of that, we're doing a new giveaway this week. All you have to do to enter is just drop me a comment down below and be subbed with the bell on, that way you don't miss the winner notification. Now this week we'll be giving out a few copies of Curse of the Sea Rats, which is a new metroidvania that just dropped here on the Switch, and I've been having a blast with it so far. Again, just make sure to comment below, and of course be subbed with the bell on for the notification. Alright my friends, let's go ahead and dive in, stay safe, and please enjoy the video. Alright, we'll start today with Full Metal Furies, which is a cooperative action RPG with both local and online multiplayer options, allowing you to team up as a group of 4 and take on the hordes of enemies you'll come up against. Of course, that means teamwork is key, and while the game does have a single player mode, which is still pretty entertaining, the game really shines when you have some people to play with. On top of that, it offers more than 15 hours of gameplay, and right now you can pick it up for just $1.99, marked down to a new low, and the deal ends on the 4th. Now the download is just over 400 megabytes, so no worries there. Next we have Rogue Legacy, which is a single player action platformer with some RPG mechanics added in, and it has a download around 250 megabytes, offering more than 24 hours of gameplay on average. Now the unique feature with this series is that each time you fail or you die during a run, the subsequent runs will be done by one of your children, and of course the game randomizes what type of characters you'll get to pick from each time as well. These new characters can have buffs or ailments that will alter the gameplay, adding in a ton of variety and replay value. Right now you can pick it up for just $202, again a new low until the 4th. Oh, and part 2 is also available for just over $20 on sale as well. Dyna Bomb 2 is a retro-inspired action platformer available for 1 or 2 players in local co-op, and the download comes in at about 450 megabytes. It does have a pretty simple control scheme and there is a difficulty slider, but the normal difficulty really doesn't offer much of a challenge. However, it would probably be a decent game to hand a less experienced player and get them familiar with the genre. You'll get to fly around and take out bosses and baddies while collecting a bunch of diamonds in each level, and the addition of co-op does add a bit more replay value as well. Right now you can pick up part 2 for just $374, marked down 75% until the 3rd, again a new low. The Guise is a new platform adventure title here on the Switch. It's a single player game and the story tells a cautionary tale and clearly shows why you should always listen to your parents. In this one you play as a young child who happens to steal a magical mask and then decides to put it on. Upon doing so, you're transformed into a monstrous creature, and this becomes our main protagonist as we work through this incredibly tough Metroidvania-esque adventure. The game does have a cool art design and the controls work very well, but be prepared for a ton of deaths. If you're interested in the Guise, it's on sale right now for $479, marked down 20% until the 6th, with the download just under 1 gig. And if you'd like to see a full review, I'll have a link to a great video in the pinned comment. Check out Nima over at NGC Gaming. He does a great job and he's reviewed a ton of Switch games. Next we have Squadron, which is a single player on-rail shooter that harkens back to the original Star Fox days, and the devs made no attempt to hide it either. Much of the dialogue and gameplay feels like it was ripped right from those games, and if you find the standard controls to be a bit strange, you can customize them in the options menu. Now the game is definitely not an overly long game, you can finish it in about a half an hour per run, but what is here is pretty engaging and the challenge from the higher difficulty levels will add a bit of game time, but there aren't really any leaderboards or other online features that would have added almost unlimited replay value. If you are a fan of the genre though, you could consider giving it a look while on sale. Right now it's marked down to a new low of just $489 and the deal ends on the 6th, and you'll need about 800 megabytes for the download. Up next we have Primal Light, which is a retro-inspired single-player action platformer with a download around 220 megabytes, and it gives players 10 different levels to work through, each having their own boss at the end as well. Now I mentioned the retro feel and you can tell the devs love the Castelvania series, plus the art design works well here on the Switch and the combat is pretty intense and it's a pretty difficult game by default. There is a slider so that will help out if it's just a bit too tough, and the sound design is top tier as well. If you're interested in Primal Light, you can pick it up for a new low of just $7.49, marked down half price until the 10th, and I would highly recommend it for fans of the genre or just old school platformers in general. Next up, we have Far Changing Tides, which is a single-player puzzle-style adventure title with a download around 3 gigs, and it offers a beautiful cinematic story where the player has to continuously maneuver around the ship in order to keep it running and pushing the game forward. Now, on occasion, you'll even have to leave the ship and solve random puzzles in the environment to avoid damaging your ride before the end. The sense of isolation really does shine through during the roughly 6-hour campaign, and the first game was amazing as well. If you're interested in Far Changing Tides, you can pick it up for just $7.99, marked down 60%, and the deal ends on the 12th. Up next, we have Flamekeeper, which is a single-player action roguelike where we play as a burning ember tasked with fighting off the darkness and restoring light to the world. It has an isometric view and utilizes a twin-stick control scheme for the surprisingly deep combat and movement in the game. Now, before each run, you visit your little village, and this sort of acts as the main hub for resting or upgrading your character, and as you work through each level, you'll gain new abilities or combos, which does keep the game feeling new and exciting. Now, it isn't an easy game, but it is on sale at an all-time low of just $7.99, marked down 33% until the 6th with a download around 1.7 gigs. Astronite is a single-player metroidvania with a unique black and white graphical design. It has a small download under 100 megabytes and starts off with the player crash landing on an alien planet, which of course causes most of your advanced gadgets or armor upgrades to be scattered around in the different areas across the map. What's really cool with this game is that even with the simple art design, it still manages to give a ton of variety to the different sections of the map, and it's another game that can get pretty challenging at some points throughout the 5 to 6 hour campaign, but the upgrades that you'll acquire should level things out a little bit. Right now you can pick up Astronite for just $10.49, which is a new low until the 12th. Doom Eternal is back on sale this weekend along with the rest of the series. This time it's at a brand new low of just $13.19, and by now I'm sure it needs no introduction, but both of the ports here on the Switch are just absolutely fantastic, with the major downside for this one just being that it requires more than 30 gigs for the download. That means you'll need an SD card in almost all of the Switch models except for the OLED, but I would still recommend it. The action and difficulty were ramped up in these entries, and this one really gives you no time to breathe, much less think. It's just pure demon slaying the way only the Doom Slayer can do. Now, of course, the multiplayer has returned, but it does have a bit of a twist on how it plays, and again, you can pick this one up at a new low until the 17th of April, and you can fill out your library of Doom games with the Slayer collection, which includes 1, 2, and 3, along with the 2016 port as well for just $12.49, which isn't a bad way to spend about $30 and fill out your roster. Squad 51 vs. the Flying Saucers is a unique shoot 'em up here on the Switch with local co-op for 2 players, and it has a download around 12 gigs, so you want to make sure that you have the space. Now, the art design and story were inspired by classic sci-fi movies and shows from the 50s, and sees Earth being taken over by aliens, where we play as a pilot from Squad 51, having to take them out. Now, the game does have some pretty cool live-action cutscenes that give us the backdrop for the action that we're about to hop into, and the gameplay itself is a ton of fun. It does have a few random graphical glitches here and there, and the load times are pretty rough, but overall it's an amazing game. It is pretty challenging, however it does have an infinite lives option if you prefer to play that way for just the story, and right now you can pick it up at a new low of just $13.99, marked down 30% until the 5th. Alright everybody, here are a few other games to check out while you're already on the eShop. Alright everybody, thank you all so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video or you like the Switch, we have plenty more content on the channel. Feel free to check it out.